Hello and welcome to Business Today. I'm Siddharth Zarabi, live from the Business Today, India Today studio here at Davos, the World Economic Forum of 2025. And we begin our live coverage on Business Today with a very special guest, Cathy Li, the head of AI, data and the Metaverse at the World Economic Forum. She's also a member of the Executive Council. Cathy, welcome to Business Today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. What a time to be discussing AI, and the theme this year is, of course, the intelligent age. We had the internet age, and I want to begin by asking you, from your standpoint, and you spend a lot of time in media as well, is a platform shift of sorts underway? We had the internet era, that was a major platform shift. With AI, do you see a similar platform shift underway for the world at large?
Absolutely, and it's been happening for some time already, because even though AI is not new, it's been developed for many decades, I think 7 decades, but generative AI is revolutionary. So think about the language, the kind of natural language interface that we have with generative AI. Obviously, that's going to cause a significant platform shift. People no longer need to go to their laptop, and sometimes I would say in the future, even on their phones, the interaction is much more natural and fully and seamlessly integrated in our lives. Those are the future we're looking at. So yeah, I would say it's definitely a significant platform shift.
Let's focus on companies, and because we cover the Indian economy pretty closely, and I want to get your sense for our viewers. What's the global experience in your knowledge of adoption of generative AI?
Yeah.
What sort of companies, sectors are doing it better than the others, and what geographies dominate? Because we know innovation is happening in one particular economy, but in terms of use, how is the scene looking like?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, AI, there's definitely quite a hype cycle. We don't deny that. So for example, the year before, when we were here a year ago, at that time the companies were very much focused on cost cutting, incremental efficiency gains. It's still hard to say if AI is going to have a transformative impact on the industry. The last 12 months, so we started to see some real numbers come in. So for example, we're going to actually launch this AI transformation of industries report series tomorrow that's going to look at all the different 10 sectors. We're already looking at the companies that are leading in AI adoption are outperforming their peers by 15% more revenue generation. And that expected revenue growth is going to be more than double by 2026. So by 2038, those expected revenue growth is going to contribute a figure between 7.6 trillion to 17.6 trillion dollars to the global economy. Really depends on how AI is actually applied. But then if you look at the sector, definitely huge shift in an impact in healthcare in terms of the predictive kind of diagnostics, personalized medicine, increasing efficiency gains. And then in the manufacturing sector, we're already seeing that a lot of the jobs are being automated, and that's going to further automate between 40 to 60% of the existing gaps in the industry. In financial services, is widely used in fraud detection, in cost efficiency in terms of efficiency of improving the process. Media entertainment, obviously, that's been on the front end, and many other industries. In terms of geography, you're absolutely right. So we do see pockets of innovation that's happening at different pace across the world, but there's no doubt that the applications of AI is ubiquitous, is everywhere, right? So anyone can leverage those technologies. So the more we can understand how to work with the technology, the more ahead each of the market will be. So we don't really see clear mode in terms of a certain business where certain market will have an edge over the others.
Okay. If there was a CEO in India watching this conversation, the question that I really have for you, and hopefully you'll be able to expand on it, what mistakes should a CEO and a company, a board, avoid when looking at this platform shift that is underway in terms of preparing their company for the future?
Yeah. I would say, well, many things, but I would say two things. One is the technology is just technology. It's all about how you actually integrate it in every part of your business processes. If you just have the technology, it's not going to do anything. To fully take advantage technologies such as AI, think about integrating in your sales function, in your internal employee, change management, in your HR people function. In every part of the organization, the leaders of the different sector need to understand how to actually use this technology. It's no longer just a job of the IT department. It's no longer just a job of CTO. That's why it's so high on the CEO agenda. So to be able to fully integrate it into your whole processes, that's going to determine if they're going to win or not. That's number one. And number two is generative AI is different from the previous AI technologies. It actually, it's at its best when it's augmenting humans and workforce instead of replacement. So the more the board and the executives understand how they can get their employees to be excited about the technology and use it responsibly with all of the different, committees, governance committees being set up in a functional way, the more they can leverage the technology. And if they don't focus on being human-centric, think about it, the technology can disrupt up to 40% of global working hours in the next 5 years. That's also from our research. So you can imagine there will be huge problems caused by integrating this technology as well. So I would say two things. One is really integrate it, fully into your business strategy, and second is to be human-centric.
You said 40%. Does that mean 40% of the workforce or 40% of the total
working hours?
Working hours. So what's the difference really in terms of the impact?
The impact it would be because from sector to sector, in terms of what is the percentage of the roles that will be and jobs that will be impacted is going to be different. In manufacturing, where we see a big gap in terms of there are actually not those jobs are many of the jobs in the manufacturing sectors are no longer actually desirable by workforce. That's why we do see a big gap. So AI can definitely fulfill that role. But in a lot of the other sectors, even though generative AI seemingly to be creative, but it's only augmenting humans' creativity. So in other sectors, actually, you need a lot more human creativity. So it's definitely going to be different sector to sector.
Since the World Economic Forum's Economists Outlook, the chief economists have said that services is going to perform better on account of what is going to happen in the global economy. What is the impact generative AI will have on the services sector from an augmentation point of view?
So it's still very early because we still have a huge gap in terms of upscaling and reskilling. There are still, I think globally, again, according to our survey, only, I think a number, I could be wrong, something between 12% to 15% of the workforce who feel comfortable using the technology. Because there's many issues in terms of technical, in terms of reliability, in terms of trust issue as well. So what we're trying to do is for people to understand that let's not mystify this technology. Let's figure it out exactly how to use the technology, like how we have always been doing. Think about what generative AI is really good at. It's about taking care of a lot of the repetitive type of tasks that humans actually don't really want it to do. So how do you make sure that we move our skills collectively into the more strategy setting and really making sure humans are always in the loop when the technologies are executing certain tasks. We will not be replaced by AI, but humans might be replaced by humans who know how to work with AI. That's a reality. So it's more about understanding from each sector how does technology augment and complement their existing skill sets. That to me is the key.
The internet grew on account of open architecture, pretty much so. Social media also went down that path. For the growth of AI, do you see a similar pattern? And what role should regulation and global standards take to ensure that the benefits reach the masses?
Yeah, that's a great question. Indeed, the human society has thrived on open source technologies, but here I would say it's not that binary, open source is better or worse than closed source, because given the significant investment in the technology, you also need to allow enterprises to invest in proprietary models and AI technology in order to really bring the technology to the frontier. So we cannot simply say, closed source is not good for the society. And also it does also have a lot of merit in terms of privacy, security, and safety, all of those main features. On the other hand, we do see without open source, I don't think a lot of the technology will be able to grow at the speed that we saw and the innovation that's going to come with it. So I would say we need to have an open mind with both spectrum, as long as they all follow certain principles in terms of safety, privacy, security. And that's, again, at the forum, we take we take it very seriously. That's why our work on AI Governance Alliance is all about, making sure the technology is safe and secure. Then the innovation will happen from there.
You have a background in the media industry, and I want to ask you a question that's close to my heart. The impact that you see generative AI and all the associated sort of developments on the media industry, both from a consumption point of view and a platform delivery point of view?
Mm-hmm. Great question. The media industry, not only during this technological kind of wave, in any of the previous, digital economy evolution, has always been the first one to be disrupted. So we see that in terms of AI, there are, I think the stats is up to 92% of the global creators are using the technology already. Earlier we spoke about globally across all the sectors, up to 40% of working hours could be disrupted in the next 5 years. In the media industry, that figure is higher, it's 50%. And the reality is many of the creators are using it. And how do they use it? They use it in definitely content generation. The cost has come down so much thanks to the technology in terms of distribution, in terms of audience segmentation and identification. So we definitely see a lot of the benefit, but obviously there's also lots of issues in terms of misinformation, in terms of trust and safety issues.
Or IP ownership issue?
Ownership issue has been front and center, and we still don't have a clear pathway other than some individual court cases. It is a complicated issue because at the end of the day, the laws are only a reflection of what we care about the most right now is definitely human creativity. As the technology continue to develop, that definition may change. But what I would say is also to all the fear about replacing all of the jobs in the media industry, think about it. At the end of the day, humans care about interacting with humans. If you're a robot today, I might be taking that interview, but I wouldn't feel the same connection or engagement with you, right? So at the end of the day, even particularly in the creative industry, I wanted to see something that's produced by humans, not only by machines. So in the end, it's only augmenting what we can do and make sure what we do could be better but not to replace everything that's unique about human.
So synthetic content will not replace original content, even though original content creators may leverage all the technologies that are available to do a better job, a more efficient job. Is that the best way to understand what you said?
That's my personal feeling. Let me ask you, would you rather watching a piece of content that's purely produced by the machine and with no human in the loop?
No, because the emotional quotient.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Cathy, thanks very much for taking out time to sort of talk about some of the more important issues. But clearly the age, the intelligent age as the World Economic Forum calls it, and that's going to be the theme that is debated through multiple panels here during our coverage, as well as the World Economic Forum sessions that are being held, many of which you can catch on businesstoday.in and all our other platforms, including Business Today Television as well. I'm going to wrap up this session thanking Cathy for her time, and we'll be back with more. Until then, goodbye.
Hello and a very warm welcome. The biggest question at Davos, as it is across the world at the moment, is what to expect from Trump